This is Martin. This is Headie 1. And this is Martin's Sofa. But before we get on to anything Martin Sofa related, let's talk about Headie 1 himself. Headie 1 grew up on Broadwater Farm housing estate in Tottenham, where he was raised by his father and his sister, as his mum passed away when he was only 3 years old. He got his nickname Headie because people used to tease him about his head shape looking like a 50p coin. When Headie was younger, he was obsessed with football, and he used to play for his local team and was due to have a trial for Stevenage FC until he sustained an ankle fracture, which led to him quitting football. He started rapping in his early teenage years, but only decided to take it seriously after stints in prison, where he was associated with the OFB group. They are not a gang. Group. He blew up in early 2018 with his hit tracks like No Better, 1800, Ain't It Different, and Both. People like his fast-paced but well-paced sound, his relatability, and his vocals.
This bro, they ching and they couldn't believe like an atheist. I've got old friends that I gotta deal with like strangers.
And if you listen to a lot of his punchlines and his lyrics, it shows that he's well diversed in TV and film.
Do it with a gang or do it on my Jones like Bridget. I was trying to get my Prince of the Hampton, you couldn't keep your Prince of Bel-Air like Philip. You was in the VIP section.
He's been involved in a few controversies, such as going to jail 3 times, twice before his rap career took off for drug possession, and once in 2020 where he served 6 months in jail for possession of a knife. He was also involved in a fight last year with fellow artist E1, who is from a rival group, after running into each other at a recording studio. And in 2020, he was involved in this, I don't know what to call it, altercation.
Look at this, pussy, the dada, pussy, suck your mother.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward, but I don't blame them for not getting into a full-blown fight because they are on a plane and that could come with some serious consequences. Plus, as black men, we shouldn't be fighting anyway. But despite some of the drama, in my opinion, I feel like he's done a good job of separating himself from his fellow group members, therefore not fall into the same fates as some of them. But he hasn't switched up on them because he still checks in on them and he's still cool with his people from back in the day.
So we call multitasking. Reason why John and them getting a trim at the same time.
And if you really look at the altercations that he was involved in, they mostly look like events of his past catching up to him, as opposed to him going out and causing trouble. So fast forward to 2023, and Headie's as relevant as ever. Like, he's not as big as he was when he first started, but his name is solidified in UK rap and UK drill. And I want to talk about a few things that he does to keep himself relevant and on top. So if you look at Headie 1, he's no Michael B. Jordan to the ladies, but he's confident about himself and he's true to who he is. He has an African uncle vibe to him, which his fans love.
Sofa, bro. Where's my sofa?
We need Martin's sofa. Where is Martin's sofa, bro? Where?
On the eye mask. I ain't really been sleeping a lot. So hydrate the eyes. And I got dressed and slapped on my suit jacket. I bust open my shirt button. Dropped him.
He has such a fun personality that keeps the people going. And that leads me on to my next point. He fully utilizes TikTok. There's a stigma around TikTok where a lot of people don't want to use it because they feel like it's a kid's app or it's lame or it's a dancing app. Not him. He fully utilizes TikTok to engage with his audience and show his personality. But again, he does it as him. He's not trying to fit in by shaking hips. Just before we move on to add on to the him being himself point, this man had a Drake feature. And a lot of people were disappointed with his verse because a lot of people thought Americans wouldn't understand it. Forget the Americans. I like the verse and it was Headie's style. he didn't step out of character just to impress American people. So, and I think the bars were good as well. It wasn't his best work, but it was definitely good. Another thing that makes Headie good is his adaptability. He's very adaptable. Have you lot ever bought a roadman around you and he's fresh off the streets and you can tell like he doesn't know how to act or carry themselves in a non-roadman social setting, and it just makes the vibe awkward? Well, that's not Headie, because look at him at the big events. He can carry himself very well and he's confident. He can put that suit on. Like, it's very hard to transition from street life to corporate life.
I've seen life from both perspectives.
But he can handle it smoothly until he runs into his ops, of course.
Pussy, the dana, pussy, suck him on.
His presentation means that he'll be seen as marketable for record labels and for brand deals. The last thing I'd like to touch on is the fact that he knows how to market a song. Look at these song campaigns. Look at this. Somebody come.
Harassed the bad bee looking on Nicki Minaj. Plus I got a space up in my garage. My young boy went over there. All my people in the background, you know. Come on. Minaj. Plus I got a space up in my garage. My young boy went over there, bun something. He need the sauna and
he accidentally made a dance that even stiff dancers like me can do, which went viral, and it contributed to him getting 3.5 million views on the video. Hear ye, hear ye. Now here's the bit that everyone's been waiting for. Campaign for Martin Sofa.
Where is Martin Sofa, bro? Where?
Headie 1, when's Martin Sofa dropping, my G? Come on, come on. Yeah, mate. Right.
Good to see you, man.
Listen, I'm so proud of what you've achieved, man, honestly.
Yeah.
You're, mate, it's just going from shitting in this yard to being a fucking superstar, man.
Videos, where's Martin Sofa, bro?
This is it, bro.
Was just going gym till this caught my eye.
Yeah, about 24 years. We're good. Yeah, man. Martin's Sofa.
And when the song dropped, it didn't disappoint either. Not everyone spent cold nights on the bando floor or the sofa, but we can all relate to Martin Sofa as a metaphor of us being down bad on our ass and at a low point in our life. So R.I.P. Cadet, and shout out the lady behind the sample too, Jenny Sook. She don't get enough credit.
Enough to slap on the eye mask. I ain't really been sleeping a lot. So hydrate the eyes. And I got dressed and slapped on my suit jacket.